Today is Thursday, June 23rd, 2016. This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today's rant will be entitled, Trump Can't Win. Really? Yes, he cannot win. So forget about all this stuff that we've been reading about. Forget about some of this stuff, okay? He's misogynistic. He's a racist. He doesn't have any money. He's broke. He doesn't have a campaign staff. Forget about all of that. Let's just look at what's been going on through history in terms of the historical precedents that have been set. And it's because we know that based on a lot of these past things, what will be happening in this election coming up, provided some things obviously don't change at all. So we know what's really going on behind the scenes. So as an example, the Democrats have won 5 of the last 6 popular elections. They won it in 92, 96, 2000, 2008, 2012. We know that Obama beat McCain by, I believe, 9 million votes in 2008, and he beat Romney by 5 million votes. I say thousand, I meant million. 5 million votes in 2012. So we know that just from a standpoint of all of those who had voted, and hopefully all of them are still going to vote, is that Trump needs at least 5 million more votes just to bring about a tie if everything is the same. But everything is not the same. So what else do we know about that? Well, we know if he needs 5 million more voters, he needs 5 million more voters, yes, but he also needs he needs those voters to be in the right states for him. Because right now we're looking at battleground states. We're looking at what I would call the true battleground states, and then, possible battleground states. So, and we already know, again, historical precedence has always been there, that the Democrats in the general election, in terms of the Electoral College, have an innate advantage right from the beginning, that they already have so many Democratic states locked up. So they only need a few more to win the election. And some of the early basis of some of this goes back to that they're looking at a possible landslide for Hillary with up to 345 Electoral College votes, and she only needs 270. So what are the battleground states? We're looking at Ohio, we're looking at Pennsylvania, we're looking at North Carolina, we're looking at Florida, and we're looking at Virginia. So remember what I said, where are those extra votes going to come to Trump in those states to bring him to bring him to victory in those states? Because what Trump is basing a lot of his stuff on is winning the white working class men. All right, here's the problem with that. There aren't enough white working class men in those 5 states to get him over the threshold, so to speak. Because a lot of the white working class men that can end up voting or are going to continue to vote in this election are in states that either the Democrats have locked up or the Republicans have locked up. So the Democrats already have locked up California, Illinois, and New York. And so all of the white working class men that are going to go for Trump in those states, and there's going to be a lot of them, it's not going to make any difference. And the same thing for Texas. They're all going to vote for Trump in Texas, but right now he looks like he's going to win anyway in Texas. But then there's this funny thing is there's a good chance that Texas could actually also be in play. So where's he going to get those votes in the battleground states? And, but here's the problem. It could be even worse than just the white working class men who he needs to get vote from. He could lose a fair amount percentage of Republican women, because women are turned off by him. And here's another thing. All women, not just Republican women, are turned off. About 70% of women are turned off by Trump in general. So if he only loses 3 to 4 or 5% of all white women who are Republicans in this election, he's doomed. Now, the next thing is, what about all those independents that are out there that are going to vote for Trump? Well, we already know, again, from historical precedents, that they break down into 2 camps. Independent Republicans who normally vote Republican, and independent Democrats who normally vote Democrat. So those people are going to vote the way they've always been voting in their historical pattern. So even though they say they're independents, they've always been voting in one block or another block, and they don't see any reason why that's not going to continue in this election year. So what about millennials? Well, Bernie has all of them locked up, well, had them locked up, so hopefully most of them will go to Clinton. And of course, just as another aspect, most millennials always go for Democrats. They always go for Democrats. And the big key here is to get enough of them to vote that it really can change the outcome. And there is a good chance that a lot of them will vote in this election and be voting for Hillary. So you can strike that out of the thing. All right. Now remember, Trump has talked about how he's brought millions of people out to vote. There's so many that he got more votes in this primary season than any other Republican ever. And of course, that's true. But at the same time, it won't help him in the general election. And the reason for that is because, yes, he got more votes in the primaries. And the reason he got more votes in the primaries is that more Republicans voted in the primaries than had ever voted before. But the ones that had voted for him were already Republicans, and they were going to vote for him in the general election. It's just that they had never voted in the primaries before. So they saw a reason to vote in the primaries, but they were going to vote in the general election anyway because they always had. So again, strike another one down. So, that's the way it's looking for him. It's not looking good at all. And let's bring in the last aspect of it. What about the Latino vote? Well, remember, Mitt Romney needed a heck of a lot of Latino votes. He didn't get them. John McCain needed a lot of Latino votes. He didn't get them. The last one to get them was George Bush, meaning a high enough percentage. Now, they have to have a very high percentage of the Latino vote for them to even come remotely close to winning. And from all of the polling that's been going on right now, they're not going to get the percentage of the Latino vote that they need. Now, here's another thing. The Supreme Court just came down today and basically said that they're not allowing immigrants to stay in this country and to get either work visas or to work or whatever it is. And remember, that was an executive order of Obama's, which was not held up by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court couldn't make the decision. It was held up by an appellate court, which was in Texas. So we know where that's coming. But the point is, this, again, will be a strong rallying cry in the fall campaign that if you're Latino and you have brothers and you have sisters and you have relatives and you have empathy for all of those who are here illegally and know that the way that the courts are going right now is to say that they are susceptible to deportation, then you're going to vote Democrat because you know that if Trump gets on there, he's going to vote someone in there that's going to try and get rid of all of them. So I'm not saying it's in the bag, but it's in the bag, so to speak. And a lot has to change between now and the election for any of that to go to change enough so that Trump can become the winner. So he's got his head up. He's got his head in the sand to think that he can change in terms of getting enough people in the battleground states to go for him, to get enough women, even Republican women, to go for him, to get enough independents above the normal independents that are already voting Republican to go for him, to get enough millennials to go for him, to get enough Latinos to vote for him. And again, he's not only have to get all of them that enough to get them, he's got to get them in the right states. And guess what? That ain't gonna happen.